When we started, we thought we were selling clothes. That's not true at all. Tesla never really sell car. About the cool technology, the moderns, you are more cutting edge than other people.
Personalization is no longer a nice to have. It is the entire game.
What we are really selling is a convenience, is a peace of mind, and also is the chance to succeed.
Welcome back to another episode of the Bridge the Gap podcast, powered by Revenue Reimagined. Today's guest is Anya Cheng. She's the founder and CEO of Taelor, which we were just talking about, and we'll talk about a little bit more, and a GTM operator who's moved from Facebook, eBay, and Target, these small little companies some of you might have heard of, into the startup trenches. She's built teams, launched global products, and now she's on a mission to change how men discover and wear clothes using AI. This episode is going to be about what it takes to innovate in crowded categories, the GTM playbooks that actually transfer from enterprise to early stage, and why personalization is no longer a nice to have. It is the entire game. Anya, thanks for joining the show.
Hello. This is Anya from Taelor AI. We offer AI stylists. So unlike traditionally celebrity have stylists, now use AI, you can all have stylists. And we help people to offer clothes for them to rent so you don't have to do shopping or laundry. Before starting a company, 15 years in big tech companies before, most recent at Meta, where I help build out Facebook, Instagram shopping, head of product for eBay Classify, help them launch new business in the US, Latin America, Africa, Asia, and senior directors at McDonald's, help them launch a food delivery business when Uber Eats just started, and in-store technology, as well as helping Target to build their tech office here in Silicon Valley. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome.
Glad to have you.
That was a great lead into my first question for you, which is from big tech to founder life. What made you make the leap from Facebook, eBay, Target to launch your own startup? And what did that shift really look like for you?
Cool. So when I was working for Meta, I was only few female executive with color. I led large technology team and I felt imposter syndrome. So I wanted to look great. So I started trying some subscription boxes, Stitch Fix, and similar to the old Trunk Club. But all of these are amazing. They do have stylists style you. But once you receive the box, the moment you have to decide if you are going to buy. And there's a lot of my spaces. How many times am I going to wear these clothes? How do I pair with these clothes? Do I need to do ironing and foldings? And can I find any places that's cheaper? So I didn't like that model. And for Dale, who go to New York often, you will know how small the space is there and people hate laundry there. So I start renting. I use company like Newly, which is a 500 million revenue company that's just 5 years old, and rent the runway. But all of this require me to pick 100,000 garments, spend 2 hours in picking and picking and picking. So I had a aha moment that I realized fashion company has been designing for people who love fashion. They haven't been designing for people who are not into fashion at all, but need to look good. Turn out there are a lot of people think like me, but they are all men. Sales guy, single guy, hate shopping, hate laundry. And that's why Taelor was born. And it happened to be a right era as well with AI in the place. Now we can easily do AI styling with AI stylists.
I love that.
I love the idea. I have used, Dale's going to be very shocked, things like Trunk Club, etc. I'm not always in a hoodie. And I think it's definitely something that's needed because I will say often I have zero sense of style whatsoever. I don't decorate. I don't do anything. So going from these large mammoth companies to being a founder, what was the first surprise? Like, what was the biggest surprise that you were like, man, this is different?
I think one thing, if people ask me like what your last 10 years, the people always have up and down, right? You have the moment you were so proud, I won Webby Award Best App of the Years and 40 under 40 for girls. And then you also have a really down moment. You really hate this manager. You hate to go up and every morning you wake up, you wish this Sunday. So if you're looking back on your last 10 years, those are up and down. And imagine in founder life, you're going to express that kind of level of up and down within 10 months. So that's a little bit more like founder life. And the same thing when I was working for a big tech company, most of people, I feel like people are very different. We're so diverse. We have people from Indonesia's and Italy's and New Yorkers and foreign. And in fact, after becoming founder, I realized when I work for big tech company, everybody thinks the same. Because after becoming a founder, you start to, in the last 1 year, I met over almost 10 C-level executive of Fortune 100 companies, so does their founders. And I also work closely with our team who might be blue collar workers, where we actually at one point we are not don't have enough people to pack because we got really good sales of a month. So then my colleague and I drove to Home Depot and asked everyone, English, English, English. Whoever said yes, we said get on the car, and then we drove them to a warehouse and start packing. So founder life is very different. You meet a lot of people. They don't think like you at all. What do you mean OKR? Never heard of it. We need a KPI. What's that? We need a roadmap. What's roadmaps? Like people don't think like you. But I also appreciate that my life became bigger because before becoming a founder, I never noticed anyone in my community trimming those trees or delivering Amazon and the garbage get taken out. The world's supposed to be, the Amazon shows up here on time. It's supposed to be. But after becoming a founder, I have so much appreciation because I know the package is right there because there's a merchant sourcing the product. There's someone packing the warehouse. There's someone shipping with post office. There's someone coming here with logistic of return or logistics technology. There's an engineer behind it. There's an AI machine learning person trying to optimize the best route. There's so much work behind the simple luggage, like package shows up on time. So I realized my work has become bigger and I have a lot more empathy for the world. And also when I start becoming a founder, I feel like the world is evil. Like when I go to Chamber of Commerce, when I use to work for Meta or eBay, when I go to any event, people like to talk to me. Oh, Anya, yeah, we'd like to work with Facebook. And can we chat next week? Oh, by the way, my son is applying for a job there. There's always someone want to talk to you. What is you are CEO of Taelor? Taylor Taelor? What's that? Like, and I turn around and talk to an IPO founder, or turn around and talk to this millionaire. And I realized, people are not very nice. At the beginning, I hated. I feel like this world is not fair. People are so not right. But then I realized this is actually a blessing because you start seeing people who genuinely want to help you, people who appreciate your knowledge and like your personality and like what you do. And that's why you start talking. And you see customer appreciate your service, deliver value, so they're more engaging. You earn what you have, not because the logo on your business card. And I think I realized that I am actually a blessing.
Very, very insightful and very articulate of kind of where you've been and now where you're going. Adam and I and our other business partner have been at big companies as well, and we enjoy helping. One of the reasons why we started Revenue Reimagine was to help more of the people that are trying to get the go-to-market strategy out into the market, and so we can definitely appreciate that conversation. As you went from big tech into your startup world, what's one go-to-market assumption that you had to unlearn immediately?
Yeah, I think so. When we started, we thought we were selling clothes. Yeah, because we style you and we sell you clothes, and people buy clothes as well. We send out 5 items for people to rent. On average, people buy 2, and they wear another 3, and then they return the clothes we send to other people. We're selling clothes. That's not true at all. However, just like Coca-Cola, they never sell soda. They sell dreams, sell freedoms, right? Tesla never really sell car. It's about the cool technology, the moderns. You are more cutting edge than other people. When you drive the gas car, it's not about the car. You were like, I'm more sustainable. I'm helping the environment. We realize how our customer really buying is a peace of mind. I got ready to look great. I'm ready to rock. I'm on this podcast. I'm on this sales event. I'm going to this conference. I'm the keynote speaker. I'm going on date night for the second time. Whatever the occasion is a peace of mind. I'm ready. They can be themselves because they don't have to worry about other stuff. They focus on the conversation, the knowledge at present. we realize what we are selling is a gauge guy behind the superhero. We're selling the concierge service, the convenience, the executive assistance for those guys. And that's why our customers start asking us, where do I get my haircuts? We are clothing company. Where to buy shoes? These shoes look good. Should I use this belt? And how about these sunglasses? These hats? Like, which one do you think is better? Oh, by the way, Valentine's Day is around the corner. Do you sell jewelries, flowers? What should I bring to the day night? Right? So I realized we are helping them to get ready for their day. And what we are really selling is a convenience, is a peace of mind, and also is the chance to succeed. And there's a moment that we realize that, for example, when we're doing go-to-market, into marketing, we no longer target people who are fashionable. We target people who are achieving goals. We target people who are financial consultants who actually help people how to make more money. We start working with dating coach to help people to go get ready for the day night. We partner with dating site like Coffee Meets Bagel. We sell to corporation that have large sales organization. So then they offer us employee perks. So then their sales look good and the money go back to the company. So entirely change our go-to-market because we realize how we are really selling the real value behind is a chance to succeed.
I like it. I just think I could see how a lot of those partnerships would work. Anya, we're so used to hearing about AI in the go-to-market space when it comes to tech, right? Everyone thinks of AI and they're like, okay, I'm going to go to Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini and I'm going to have it make some cold emails, or I'm going to ask it to help like with a strategy. But you're sitting at a different definition of AI with kind of personalization for sure, but in the commerce space. Taelor, it's an AI-powered styling platform. Crowded space. What's the wedge? What makes you different, and why did you want to get into this space?
Yeah, it's a 42% of men in the apparel market, and it's 140 billion every year. But most of the guy who a lot of people know probably wear the same thing again and again last 10 years. And Open Air Plaza, they have 5 different brands: Lululemon, Nike, Banana Republics, and Blues Brother. And every Thanksgiving they buy the same thing. But in fact, if you ask
You've been in Adam's closet?
Yeah, or we asked people and they were like, I don't even know what I have because my wife buy all of my clothes, right? So, but
Dale.
in fact, you ask them, do they really like to be Steve Jobs wearing exactly the same thing? No, they actually don't want that. So one time I went to a conference and the speaker right next to me, he get on, he's like, wow, if you add me on LinkedIn right now, you will realize I'm wearing the same blazer that I had 10 years ago, which was my LinkedIn profile. And he's like, I probably should talk to Anya. So I think a lot of them, without a place selling clothes, but either you have to buy or you have to pick. So because then people tend to either, if you have to buy, you tend to only use like once a while, like your trunk club. You probably not use it every month because you have to buy, then you'll have too much stuff at home. And nowadays, owning isn't always a good thing. Uber is convenient because you don't have to park. Netflix is good because you don't have to buy DVD, right? So owning versus ownership, now people have different definition. So in our model, because it's rental, because we style you, so those two combined, it help people that they don't have to have commitment. And that's a big thing for our customer because for sales guy, single guy, they don't like commitments. And they don't like use their MySpace for small things like this. Yeah. And then on the other hand is that because we pick the clothes for a man, so for sure you're going to give me feedback. Oh, the sleeve too long, 1 inch needed for my shoulder. And those amazing feedback actually we feed back to the fashion brand. Today, 30% of clothes go directly from factory to landfill. 30 billion in the US alone go to landfill every year. And that's a lot of money they can put back to the fashion brand. So we use this amazing data as AI agents, and they're helping the fashion brand to help them to reduce future inventory and increase future sales.
People buy from people. That's why companies who invest in meaningful connections win. The best part? Gifting doesn't have to be expensive to drive results. Just thoughtful. Sendoso's intelligent gifting platform is designed to boost personalized engagement throughout the entire sales process. Trust me, I led sales for a Sendoso competitor, and I can tell you, no one does gifting better than Sendoso. If you're looking for a proven way to win and retain more customers, visit sendoso.com.
That's super interesting. And so you're helping the consumer, but also the brand themselves, like make sure that they are capturing opportunities or data, which led me to another question as I was thinking about it, because I would think you have a lot of one-off sales from like a rental perspective. How are you turning that data that you're gathering through that process into retention and not just using it as acquisition?
For retention, of course, it's easy because then if it's you gain weight or lose weight, you provide feedback. Then next time we do better. So that's more straightforward. Like your Netflix show, I like this. Now all I open is all like Korean dramas, and so they help the retention for sure. But those data help fashion brand is another story. So imagine you are a fashion brand, you outsource this manufacturer to a big manufacturer, the manufacturer outsource to a small manufacturer and not small manufacturer. After you receive the clothes, you sell it to a whole big wholesaler that sell to a small wholesaler. Eventually customer buy the Nike in the store is actually like 6 steps before the true manufacturer actually made the clothes. As a result, they really don't have great insight. And that's why 30% of clothes go to landfill. Every year they create junk. And nobody like to create junk, but it's just very not a lot of insight back to them. They might know, oh, this is too big. What does that mean? Shoulder is too big, sleeves too long, 1 inch, 1.5 inch, 0.45 inch, and from whom? From Dale, who travel usually to New York, and for Adam, who wear these clothes after we have been running 3 times. So after washing 3 times, it get loose or it get shrink, and that's why it's too small, right? So they don't have really detailed, actionable insight. As a result, they just keep producing junk, and that's how we are using those insight back to them. And this part also fit into AI, so nobody have to remember those informations.
Super interesting.
The amount of data you get blows my mind. Let's talk human behavior for a second. So you have a ton of data, you know what people wear, you know what people return, you learn what people's styles are. I'm sure you then do all sorts of things, matching it to height, weight, all sorts of other things. But what have you learned about human behavior that Taylor's tech actually needed to catch up to?
Yeah, for example, we do ask when people signed up, people usually ask us, how do AI know my style or sizing? So we ask people some questions, such as their height and weight, which we don't always use because most guys think they are taller and thinner. So they provide the information that's not most accurate. So we
Yeah, of
realize, oh,
course.
everyone think they are taller. Okay, great. So we ask them, oh, okay, go to your closet, pick your favorite outfit, and tell me what brand and what size it is. No problem. I'm definitely size small. Oh my God, I'm actually extra large. So it happens all the time. And so we ask people about their fit issue, usually sleep too long, body's too tight. And we also learn a lot about it's not about looking good, it's about looking good to achieve a goal. For example, when you go to a conference, we send you a very interesting print short. People come to you and say, wow, that's very interesting print with a dolphin on it. Nice shirt. And it become a conversation opener. So now they are talking, and then eventually they close deal in a conference. Or they go on day 9, we say, okay, how about there's one more blazer? So then when you get out of restaurants, and now you can put a blazer on the lady's shoulders and you score your second date. So it's about the goal behind to achieve the goal, and it's not just about looking good.
I love that. And as you
Dale's
move
just
in,
thinking
so
of all the clothes he could get.
yeah, I'm just thinking about like the rental piece is very interesting to me because like there is a lot of landfill that ends up happening, right? You're like, okay, I'll wear this for a period of time, then you don't wear it anymore. And so one of the things I've been thinking about is using like why you picked menswear, which I think we talked about a lot. Um, but do you think that particular segment of the market is more ripe for utilizing your service versus the female market? Like, have you guys thought about going into the female market? What was the are you guys going to expand? Like, I'm just curious where your heads are as you get more data.
Yeah, we're not. We're very focused. Today, men's market is $140 billion. If you look at women's space, it's 57% of the markets. A man is 42 something percent of the market. And there are actually 10 company in the women's space, but each of them only have less than single digits of the market share. It's just because the apparel market is so big. So for bigger player like Newly, they make 500 million revenue backed by an Urban Outfitter, and the revenue they made has bypassed the wholesale segment, which they spent 30 years to build. So we asked them the same question, like, why are you not doing woman? Man, why are you only doing woman? And they say like, oh, I only get less than 1% of market share now. Like, I'm not interested in going out any other places. But for our model, because I think fundamentally the problem we are solving is entirely different. The financial business model is also entirely differently. Women rent dress because we want to wear different things every day. As a result, we will never buy the clothes. Why would you buy? Just like your Netflix show, you can watch it every day. Why would you buy the DVD? Right? So, but in men's market, our customer not using us to wear different things every day. They use it more like try before they buy. They use us as a concierge service to support them. So
So do
on
you?
average,
So if you would you do you sell your product to the man after he rents it? Is that
that's
the
right.
concept?
So when I sell
Yep.
rent out 5 items, on average people buy two. On average, renting 3 times the item gets sold already. And every item gets sold, we make over 57% margin because fashion is actually a very high margin business. If you know the e-commerce business, I'm sure you know that the fashion isn't high margin, but they are all afraid of inventory. But in our model, because we pick clothes for men, therefore we have zero inventory. Just like your Uber car, you don't pick the car. So as long as you're an Uber driver, you for sure will get customer. And we are membership. So we know customer, we know Dale's body type, Adam's goal before you guys became a customer. So of course, we have inventory now with 150 different brands. And the moment that you're on board, we will send you something. But as we're sourcing, we will for sure source exactly what you need because we already know who is going to rent them and we're going to assign stuff to you so you don't have to pick. As a result, we don't have to buy inventory at all because we work with fashion brand. We say, hey, brands, you can send me clothes and I will pay you nothing. But don't worry, starting tomorrow, I'm going to rent it out because I pick the clothes. So you're going to, my AI pick the clothes. So Adam for sure is going to wear the clothes and he pays a monthly fee, which every time you rent, I will pay you something. So eventually you are going to make your wholesale money back and probably even more because people will buy the clothes. So we have no inventory. You don't have to buy things up front. But for fashion brand, we get something out of the warehouse for free. And we also help them to promote to a customer. And every time people renting, they get feedback as well. So win for the customer, win for the wholesalers or brands, and win for Taylor.
Yeah, so it's brand exposure for your vendors for sure. Something that I wouldn't have walked into a store and taken off the shelf or ever purchased. You're actually getting it in my hands, and then from their point of view, like maybe I fall in love with their brand. Hopefully, I keep using Taylor, but now I love Dale's shirt brand, and I'm going to go buy that brand outside of what I'm getting from Taylor. I think that makes a ton of sense. Anya, you've talked about the psychology of decision fatigue. How does that actually show up in your go-to-market? Because when you look at AI or you look at choosing clothes or you look at all these options or, I have to choose this month and next month, like how does decision fatigue show up in your go-to-market and how do you address that?
Yeah, I think so. When we go into, for example, when we are partnering with corporates that's helping employee to as employee give and per, that's for sure they're helping their employee not having to pick the clothes, so then they save more time, right? And then when we are doing the marketing side of the house, what we are promoting is that you can save more of your mind spaces and the time that you save in shopping and
Mm-hmm.
laundry. Now it goes to your video game, your date nights, where you're more time with your family. And so I think so because we are very clear our audience are we are not selling. If you think the analogy of the cleaning business, we are not selling cleaning supply. We are selling the maid service. So we don't advertising on GQ, even though we rank number one by GQ and Vogue. But because our customers will never read GQ, they are actually people who talk about sports and F1s and or NBA and basketball. So we actually or true crime. So we actually have partnered with more of those like influencers on those things or ambassadors, and so even for podcast hosts like you guys and for talk about careers or business actually are more relevant to our audience than the fashion side of house.
Yeah, it's interesting what you're selling versus what your product is. I actually think that's a great correlation that you talk about, right? Like Coke isn't selling Coke. You're not selling clothes. I think that's something that a lot of people should take a look at when they're looking at what their value proposition is. What are you actually, what are you selling, and what does your product allow people to have? So tying back into product. So I read that you teach product and marketing at Northwestern. What trends are you helping the next wave of leaders prepare for? Where's the world going? What are you teaching?
Yeah, I teach product management, and so that means building app, building websites. I would say if it's one key takeaway that I always tell my students is that it's end of day, whatever AI or technologies that you have to solve a problem, right? So for example, when I was at Target, we our colleagues they really think at that time was really cool in terms of AR VR. Like you all go to the store, potentially become this AR VR. You can see these couches in your living rooms, and then you go on this aisle. Suddenly now you can see these commercials, and like the world is perfect. They will guide you through the store. You have a shopping list. It becomes an in-store GPS. Turn right and turn left. You never miss an item in the store. Sounds so cool. They launch it. Nobody use it. Whoa, but mom go to a store. Sometimes they forgot the milk. They came out and say, "Oh, I forgot to buy one thing. Well, I'm solving the problem." Yeah, but mom go to a store to get lost. They don't want to install GPS. It's a time for their me time. It's a time for them to get away
Everyone wants
there.
to. You go to Target for 10 minutes and you stay there for 2 hours.
Exactly. It's a time for them to get away their husbands, right? So why would they want to install GPS? Yeah, they might forget one thing. So then they give an excuse. Oh, sorry, I have to. Can you take care of the kids? I have to go back to buy the egg and milk, right? So I think so. Eventually, you have to know what's the true problem you are solving, and is the problem really big enough? So the same thing when I was at Target. At that time, AI wasn't as cool as now. So, but we are already cutting edge. We say we're going to use AI, snap a picture, AI will write all of the descriptions, and then people can sell it faster. So at that time we launched it, actually now a lot of people use it. Why? We start doing research and realize people who sell, especially for individual, they really care the accuracy of their description. They care the item sell. So they actually don't mind spending time to make sure it's all right and all good. They feel great and they're ready to sell a good price. So eventually, I think technology come and go, and if you are really not solving the problem, then you won't have an opportunity. Even though it's a cool thing, there's no reason why people use it. When I was at Sears, our website was faster than Amazon. But it didn't bring business for the company, because if no one want to buy your product, why would they want a fast website, right? So,
Yeah.
so end of day, like, do you have the value prop? Like, Apple is easy to use. Android has a lot of functionality. Both of them are amazing, but very different product. LeBron is more good in defense, and Curry is really good in three-pointer. They are very different
Okay, you dropping the
players,
basketball knowledge
right?
today.
So, but they are different. You only need one value prop and do very, very well. Because at startup, we don't have a lot of money. So how is it possible you do check everything? That's not possible unless you hire Adam and Dell. But usually the easier to succeed will be a big check. Like, I'm doing this better than anyone else.
It
There you
is
go.
one of the things we talk about with a lot of our clients is niche down to make expansive growth, because you can't do everything for everybody. And so one of the things we do when we first come into a lot of clients is like, what is it that you're really focusing in on? How can you execute extremely well in that space? And then you can grow.
Yeah, that's a good strategy. My mentor, who is a founder of Rotten Tomato, and he say, if you look at Rotten Tomato, the only thing matter is the meter, like how much score is the movie. They can remove everything else, but that's the score that people care. The same thing for Google. You start with just a box. There's nothing else. There's search of things behind. YouTube founder is one of our investors. He say that it's about upload video and finding the audience, but they do so well that Google had to buy them. Instagram, it just snap a picture with a filter so people cannot see your true face, and then Facebook have to buy it. So you just do one thing very well, like Google beat Yahoo, and at that time Yahoo has Yahoo Finance, Yahoo Movie, Yahoo all everything, but still Google beat Yahoo.
Up until about 3 months ago, my wife still had a Yahoo email address, and I was speaking to a prospect yesterday who still uses a Hotmail email address, to let you know how old and antiquated they are. Think about what their go-to-market motion is, Dale.
But you don't know that you have an AOL email, so
I don't have an AOL email.
yeah, you do.
I
Oh,
do
how
not.
about Comcast one? Let me see if I have one.
I have an original Apple email. I have a me.com, and I will
Cool.
probably never, ever, ever get rid of it. All right, let's move into some rapid fire as we wrap it up. So here's the rules, Anya. We try to keep these answers to 10 words or less. Every time you go over 10 words, Dale tells me I have to pay him money. So save my pocket a little bit. What was the harder job, leading inside of Meta or outside now as a founder?
I think it's outside being a founder, because you actually have to be a lot of different roles.
What's one AI tool you actually use every day besides Taylor?
We do use other, and I see their transcribe and see what's the action item I'm supposed to do, what I owe for Adam for whatever promotion material, for example.
There you go. I love it. How do you personally reset when the founder roller coaster that we all know so well gets so intense?
I hold my cats and then tell him whatever I'm not happy about. And I'm lucky because my husband's a chef, so he cook good food.
Nice.
What's the most underrated product hire?
Ooh, good one.
Say that again?
What's the most underrated product hire?
Product
hire. When you hire your product team, what's the most underrated product hire?
You mean the character that I'm looking for?
No, just like if you're like whoever you hire on your product team, what's the person that's most underrated on that product team?
Underrated.
Or said differently, who's the most important product hire that doesn't get enough credit?
I think will be someone who really good in growth. What I meant is that they actually know how to do the detailed iterations, because people tend to like to open new feature because new feature is cooler, but it's a growth guy, that iteration to make it right.
Love that.
Yeah. Last one for me, and then Dale will end with his famous last one. Anya, what's the go-to-market metric that you think is most often misunderstood?
I think people tend to just think about, I think people when go to market, people only tend to think about what's the CAC, what's how much is the cost, customer acquisition cost. Yep. But I don't believe that doing go to market is something that they want. Like we got at least 1,000 emails and we send it out to them. How many people end up buying? I don't think that's ever the process. It's always a journey. Like you iterate it. You find you launch this a whole bunch of video. You find a good video with an insight, and you launch a new one to replace these old ones. And it's always an iterative process. So I think people are just looking at CAC from a get-go for those one-time thing is what people make mistake.
Awesome.
Love it.
Last one. What is your dream vacation destination?
I think Spain. I think the seafood is so good. And then I probably will go back to, I'm cheating. I'm getting second answers. I got married 2 years ago, went to Bora Bora, Tahiti for honeymoon. Nice. It was very, very nice. Any founder, when you sell your company, you should go to Bora Bora.
Very nice.
Nice.
Anya Cheng, thank you so much for joining the show. Where can people check out Taelor? Because it's not spelled traditionally. Where can our audience go to get some really cool styling? And where's Dale going to go to get some styling?
Taelor.style. That's TAE. TAELOR.STYLE, Taylor.style. And use the code podcast25 to get 25% off first month. So it looks great. And if you are investors, suppliers, business partners for dating site, career centers, and fitness center, feel free to reach out to me. I'm Anya, ANYA at Taelor.ai, TAELOR.ai.
Awesome. Anya, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
the show.
Thank you.